Hi, my name is Liz Lynn Love, and I took the Trump-Musk-DOGE buyout. And now I gotta figure it out. I took the deferred resignation, which gives me 7 months of pay and benefits, allegedly. That runs out at the end of September, so I got that much time to find a new job. I'd like to be a data scientist that mainly focuses on creating R Shiny apps. R is a programming language, and R Shiny allows you to create these interactive web applications and dashboards in R. I've done a lot of work over the years, but I can't share with the public. It's all internal. So now I need to build a portfolio of work that I can share with the public. But first, I need some inspiration. I read the Motley Fool all the time. I think they offer great intelligence about finance and investing, plus, it's super easy to understand. I stumbled upon this article, and it's by Jackpot, and it's entitled Lottery Statistics and Revenue by State. Of course, I can't leave the whole article here, but the link is in the description box. Let's look at the key points that really made my jaw drop. $97.8 billion on lottery tickets? Whew, that's a lot of money. And then $392 per capita in 2022. Guys, per capita means per person. That's about $400 per person in 2022. Now, if that does not make you fall out of your chair, a little over $1,000 per capita here in Massachusetts, a little over $1,000 per person. I just think these numbers are huge. I think this is an exorbitant expense. And I know the Motley Fool is a reputable source of information. I gotta go with the facts, data, truth, and evidence. So just to confirm, just to make sure, I had to consult an authority. I needed to run it by an expert. So I did what anybody in my situation would do. I called my cousin. He works at a store that sells lottery tickets. And I said to him, $400 a year, does that seem right to you? And what he said floored me. Girl, it's more like $400 a month. I said, you've got to be kidding me. He says, no. I said, you're kidding. He says, no. I see the same folks. I see what they spend, and I see how often they come in here. And it really is hundreds of dollars a month. And that got me to thinking. The way that they approach playing the lottery is similar to how I approach investing. I mean, I put a set amount of money aside every month and I buy shares of a company in the stock market. Now, don't go too fast. I am not saying that playing the lottery is the same as investing. No, they're not the same. They're quite different. However, for the people that are spending hundreds of dollars a month, every month, their intention for playing the lottery is the same as my intention for investing. I stumbled upon this article from the wonderful folks at Investopedia. This one is called Investment, How and Where to Invest. It's written by Mr. Adam Hayes, and looks like Charlene Reinhart and Pete Rathburn offered a helping hand with this one. And they offer a definition of an investment, right? Here it is right here. It requires the outlay of a resource today, like time, effort, and money, for a greater payoff in the future, generating a profit. Now let's look at some of these keywords here. Outlay of a resource today, like money, for what? A greater payoff. That's what an investment is. We're putting money in today in hopes that this is going to pay off big later. So again, their intention is the same as mine when I invest in the stock market, right? This is about having a sustained financial commitment, similar to a stock market investor. So let's compare the two. Let's compare your earnings when you play the lottery to your earnings when you invest in the stock market. So here's my project, guys. Create an interactive data visualization in R Shiny that compares lottery earnings to stock market investing over time. All right, sounds good to me. First, let's get the data. I'll get the stock market data from a package in R called QuantMod. They will give you the historical prices that you can find on Yahoo Finance. So I'm good to go there. And according to that Motley Fool article we read earlier, the lottery data came from the Census Bureau. So let's take a quick gander at the Census Bureau's website. I've already pulled it up to make it a little bit faster for us. The Census Bureau has an API. For those who don't know, an API is a really efficient, super easy way for developers to grab mounds and mounds of data and use it in their code to create dashboards, applications, do modeling, whatever they need to do. So the Census Bureau has one. It has an API. And the lottery data is in here. It's in the annual public sector statistics. Now, I don't have time to go over this whole website, but I assure you it is fantastic and it has everything that you need. Some explanatory information, some helpful links in case you need more details. Scrolling down, I know I'm going fast, but just bear with me. There's the public sector API variables. These are all of the variables that you can find. Look, ooh, it's a long list. Scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And here's what I want you guys to see. This is how you would call the API. This is what you would put into your code in R, right? If you want to pull this data. And look, they even have an example for lottery right here. 2012 to present lottery information for the state of Maryland. This is just an example of what you would enter in order to get the data. So again, I don't have the time to go through all of this in great detail, but take my word for it. This is a super quick, super easy way to get the data. All you have to do is just familiarize yourself with the documentation up here, and I will leave you guys to do that if in fact you want to pull data yourself from the Census Bureau. But let's get back to the task at hand. Alrighty. So I got the project. I know how to get the data. What's next? I need a way to compare the two. How am I going to compare the lottery data to the stock market? Right? So I need a measure that I can use that makes them comparable. I went to visit my friendly folks at Investopedia, and I found this article, Rate of Return, Meaning, Formula, and Examples, written by Mr. Will Kenton. And looks like Eric Estevez and Yarlet Perez helped him out with this one. They give us a really simple formula, guys, for rate of return. It is the current value minus initial value divided by the initial value times 100. This is simple, this is straightforward, and this is commonly used to evaluate the performance of an investment. Let's run through a quick example to make sure you're understanding. Suppose you spent $1,000 on an investment and then you cashed it out for $1,200. Your current value is what you got back, what you are walking away with. And in my example, it's $1,200. What's the initial value? Well, it's what you spent, what you put in the first place. In this scenario, it's $1,000. So we'll put these two numbers into this equation. 1,200 minus 1,000, that gives me 200. Divide that by 1,000, that gives me 0.2, and multiply it by 100. That gives me a rate of return of 20%. That's a pretty good rate of return, by the way. Now, what does this have to do with the lottery? All right. How to use this with the lottery data I have from the Census Bureau. All right. The current value is what you got back. What do you get back? The lottery prize money. Okay? So that's my current value, the lottery prize money. What's the initial value? what you spent on the tickets, which is the lottery income, okay? So then, using these two values and these variables that I'm getting from the lottery data at the Census Bureau, the rate of return would be the lottery prizes, what you got back, minus the lottery income, what you put in, divided by the lottery income, and then you multiply that by 100. Now, how to use this formula for the stock market is pretty straightforward. We've probably done that many a times. But this is how we would use it for the lottery. Okay, so now I got my well-defined project. I got my data sources. I have picked this derived variable, this metric, rate of return, so I can compare the two. But I can't put the whole stock market in this equation. I gotta pick a stock to put in this equation. Okay, so how do I pick one? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you can read Motley Fool and Investopedia all day long, but that does not make you a financial whiz. You don't know which one to pick. You know what? I'll take that, and I will rely on referential authority. You may not see me as an expert, but I know somebody. Mr. Warren Buffett. He is my stock market expert of choice. Mr. Buffett said, and I quote, consistently buy an S&P 500 low-cost index fund. Keep buying it through thick and thin, and especially through thin. This is from Mr. Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha himself. He gives us 3 criteria. He says, buy an S&P 500 fund. Then what does he say? Make sure it's low cost. And then what? Make sure it's an index fund, okay? These are the 3 criteria we are looking for. S&P 500 low cost index fund. So I posed this query to Google, and this is what Google gave me. From the fantastic and fabulous people at Vanguard, we have VOO, better known as VOO. Let's see if VOO meets Mr. Buffett's criteria. Is it in the S&P 500? Yes. Yes, it is an S&P 500 fund. Says it right there in the name. What was the next one? Low cost. The expense ratio is 0.03%. I think that's low cost. And lastly, it's an index fund. Okay? This is what Mr. Buffett is telling us to look at, guys. S&P 500, low cost index fund. I think we got a winner here with VOO. So that is what I am going to look at. I'm going to look at the rate of return of VOO and the lottery. Here we go. This is our studio. This is my beautiful, beautiful R code that I will later post to GitHub so folks can take a gander at it and copy it if they would like. Okay, and I'm just going to hit the Run App button so you guys can see what I've created. I know I told you guys in the title that I'm using the census data to beat the lottery, right? So here it is. This is how we beat the lottery. First, let's look at the lottery data. Okay, look at the rate of return I was able to compute. This is 2012. Remember, guys, I went to the API, so I got a mound of data, not just 2012. I had to make you guys a little drop down. 2012 all the way down through 2022, okay? All these years of data. Let's look at what we have for 2012. National rate of return, negative 37.4%. Yes, that means that you are losing some money when you play the lottery. Did you know that? You know now. And so I can hover over the states. Let's see, 2012 rate of return. Illinois, negative 39.5%. My goodness. Let's look over here at Oregon, negative 71.9%. Sheesh. That's a lot of losing. Whoa, my goodness. What I like about R is that it's interactive. I can go down here to my legend, okay, and I can click off every single one of these categories. And what you have left, these states in gray, these are the ones that don't have a lottery in their state. Okay? And I can add these groups one at a time. So let me add on from negative 50% to negative 100%. That's the rate of return. Let's click on it. Let's look at Oklahoma. Sheesh. You're going to lose more than half your money in Oklahoma. Let's see. South Dakota. Woo! Negative 78.9%. My goodness, that's a lot. You add on each other category. Negative 50 to negative 40. That's the next shade up. Negative 40 to negative 30. Whew. All right, negative 30 to negative 20. All right. So let's click here. What's over here in Arkansas? All right, negative 29.4%. Now, I told you, this is how we're going to find a way to beat the lottery. This is how we beat the lottery. Here it comes, guys. I'm going to click on Arkansas. Thus far, I've just been hovering over. This time, I'm going to click on a state. I'm going to click on Arkansas. Ta-da! Let us see what we have here. Now, in the middle, we have the cumulative return of $1,000 over time, okay? This is going from 2012 to 2022. Now, let me explain this carefully. Let's say you took $1,000, okay? And you started in 2012 at the very beginning of the year with $1,000. At the end of the year, what would you have? Well, with the state lottery in Arkansas, you would have $706. You would have lost almost a third of your money. But if you had invested that money in VOO, you see, your money would have increased. It would have gone from $1,000 up to $1,115 by the end of the year. Look at the next year. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take what we have here in 2012, and that's what we start with in 2013. Okay, so in Arkansas, with the state lottery, you would start with $706, and what would happen? Child, you're going to drop down to $497. But look at VOO, you're almost up to $1,500. And so on and so forth. Now, again, what I like about our shinies, how interactive it can be. If I would like to, I can just click VOO and take it off the chart for just a moment, and I can focus on what happens with Arkansas. So we started off with 1,000, we dropped down to 706, down to 497, down to 353, down, 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 and down to $28. Okay, take Arkansas off, put VOO back on. What happens? Up, 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 up. Okay, we went down just a little bit, just a little down. It's not gonna hurt nobody. But look, back up again, up again, up again. Now, 2022, guys, that was a rough year. We had the pandemic. You know, a lot of folks was going down in 2022, and that's okay. But look, when you put your money in, you keep it in. Look, triple your money. You see that? Triple your money. Let's add Arkansas back on. There's never a time where they even cross, okay? Once you put your money in VOO, it goes up rather steadily. Not perfectly, but rather steadily. And when you put it in the state lottery, it goes down, 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 down. This is how you beat the lottery. You put your money in the stock market instead, specifically in this company called VOO. Now, I added this chart on the other at the end, just in case you would like to see what the annual rate of return was for every year. So, of course, you can hover over, and you can see what it is for the state lottery of Arkansas and what it is for VOO. You can click VOO off and just look at the numbers for Arkansas. They're all negative, guys. From 2012 to 2022, they're all negative. Okay? All negative. And when you add VOO, you got a few negative years in here. You got a few negative years. But overall, going back to my middle chart, your cumulative return, you're looking great. You're looking fantastic. You're looking a whole lot better than what you would when you just play the lottery. I know what you're thinking. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what, Warren Buffett says. He says, get the VOO. Yeah, he does. Now, let's see. Let's see if there's anything else from anybody else. All right? Let's see what else we have here. The Motley Fool. This is an article written by Mr. Danny Vina. He says, forget buying a lottery ticket. Stake your claim on this $13 trillion jackpot instead, according to experts. Now, I didn't leave the whole article here, just as one little teaser. Investing in artificial intelligence stocks is a potentially lucrative alternative to the crapshoot of buying a lottery ticket. Now, I did read this article. And the stocks he's talking about, there's two of them. I'll tell you what one is, and then if you want to see what the other stock is, you got to go to the link in the description box and give it a read for yourself. But I decided this is a pretty cool tool that others may find useful, so I wanted to share it with you right here at lizlynnlove.com. One more time, lizlynnlove.com. Let's go to a browser. Let's go to the browser. Oh, I've been here a time or two before, guys. Oh, goodness, no, I can't type. There we go. Let's go to lizlynnlove.com. This is a work site in progress. Alrighty. And I was able to put this up rather quickly for you guys. It's up here at the top, lottery versus the stock market. Click on it. Click on that and you will see the app that I just showed you, okay? I'm giving it to you guys so that you all can explore this data and get acquainted with this app yourself. Alrighty, you can click on a state just like I did, and the other two charts will appear populated with data. Now, I told you over here that this gentleman, Mr. Vayner, talks about two stocks. He talks about two stocks in this article, and I'm going to tell you one of them, okay? I'm going to tell you one of these AI stocks is in the article. All you got to do is read it. One of the stocks, you see, just come up here, guys. Come up here to this bar, hit the backspace button, get to typing. One of the stocks he talked about is Microsoft. So we just click Microsoft here, and looky. We can see the historical prices for Microsoft over time. Oh my, look at this. $12,588. Whew! You are definitely beating the lottery. Definitely beating the lottery. Oh my goodness. Hold on, guys. Let me click off of Microsoft. Let me see what happened here. Ooh, you started off with $1,000 and ended with $211 in South Dakota. Scroll down to 47. Scroll down to 10, down to 2, ooh, and down to 0. Ain't that something? Let's add Microsoft back. If you had put $1,000 into Microsoft at the beginning of 2012, look at where you would have been in 2022. That's an increase of almost tenfold, guys. Almost tenfold. Again, we had that dip thanks to our pandemic, but man, oh man, that's pretty good. Definitely better. Definitely better than the lottery. Okay. So that is it, guys. That is all that I have for you. If you enjoy this, please give me a like, give me a share. You got any thoughts or ideas, questions for me, please drop it in the comments section below. And I look forward to chatting with you guys next time. Bye-bye.